All right, you guys back now, or you still got us frozen? All right, look at that. It looks like the miracles will never cease. We seem to be back up at the 5:51 mark. There is no guarantee that that will continue, given what we've seen so far with Mogulus this evening. We do have the and Chain says he was never frozen. That's good on you there, Chain. But it was screwed up on my side on the console as well, so I want to apologize for that. We will continue to try and plow through on our side and see what we can get going on this side of the table. The other chat room should still be up for those of you who want to join the other chat room. We had some reports from people that they wanted to have the chat right next to the viewer, and this was a way we could do it through Mogulus. But of course, with any steps forward with Mogulus, we of course take 2 or 3 steps backwards. So if you're happy enough to be in this chat, that's terrific. I think that would be good. If you'd like to use the other chat room, we will try and monitor that as well. Sanchez has got about 6 computers going over here. And looks like we got a couple people over there.
Tony the Calf, Spence on both, Red 75, one
nice.
One Bad Adams.
One B Adams is over there.
Creepy.
Okay, well, terrific. Well, if they want to take part over there, great. I'd love to move to one. I don't really care which one we go with, so we'd love to get some feedback from you folks.
All right, Tony's on both.
Hit us up at questions@whatthebuck.net with your feedback on any of this stuff as we try and implement more of this. I know Tony's familiar with this because Moohead Radio, our parent network, uses this information or this same facility for chat. Keeping up with both will be tough, Spent. We will eventually unify on one. So if you were in the Captain's Deck chat, try and come over to this one if you don't mind. And Shane is reporting that he likes having everything on one page. And you know what? If Shane likes it, then damn it, that's what we're going to do. So after all of this crap, I want to welcome everybody to the show. D. Sanchez and I are in the house. As you'll notice, there is no doctor tonight. We do have the doctor stand-in. So the doc is here in spirit. I think he's over in Auburndale somewhere. So please pray that no cattle ranchers get hold of him. But we are here tonight, and we're here to talk about Buccaneers football and pretty much everything else. You can see our soon-to-be birthday boy is rocking a very sweet Longoria jersey. I got to say, for all my hatred of baseball, them cats can make a uniform.
This year they can make a uniform.
You didn't like the old ones?
No.
The big floppy fish?
I thought they were quite ugly for myself. But, yeah, I got to give a little shout-out to the wife picking this up for me for my birthday. So, nice little birthday present for me.
Absolutely.
Not to jump the gun on anything, but me and Derek were kind of talking about this earlier, and I know you guys know that I've always had my love for the Yankees. And as I was telling Derek earlier, last week when I was watching the Rays and Yankees, I was so pissed off that the Yankees actually won. And that's when I knew.
You've converted.
It's time. It's time. So
excellent.
Yeah, go Rays. And,
very nice.
Gotta root for Longoria tonight in the home run derby.
Well, we'll keep track of that. I mean, you can usually keep track of any sort of baseball activity with about 4 seconds of actual attention paying. So, home run derby will be no difference. But that's good. You hope he does well. It looks like, and we will talk about the Rays some this evening. As much as it pains me, I'll do my best to keep up with you, D. I know I'm not the Rays buddy with you, but with them kind of stumbling here into the All-Star break, I'd love to get your opinions on that.
Sure.
But we got a bunch of stuff to cover. With the week off, there's always a bunch of news to cover, and there's a couple of things we want to definitely cover tonight. I will pass over to D to cover what he's got. We'll do our What the Buck Were You Thinking? Because God knows in 2 weeks we gave these clown shoes a lot of time to screw up. So let's kick it off with that. What?
Nothing. Keep Sanchez from watching the Panthers game. What's that all about?
Panthers game?
What's that all about, Shane?
The only Panthers fan in here is Section 106. Is he still here? Yeah, Section 106. We want to welcome Panty to the Central Florida region.
All right, I don't know which one of these guys are the biggest dumbass, but we'll start off with Jacksonville Jaguars' own
Matty Jones.
Matt Jones. I'm just gonna go back to my, where I played college ball, where I was star quarterback, and decided to cut up a little coke with my credit card in an SUV. But his dad said it wasn't his coke. I have no reason why not to believe his dad.
It's okay, because it's your dog. Road trip, for anyone keeping track, road trip.
So, Matt Jones has been a lot less than stellar for the Jaguars anyway. I think he might have been on the way out, and I think that this might have just sealed his fate.
He failed to do something receivers are supposed to do from time to time, which is catch the ball.
Yeah, he didn't do that too well.
But he was a freakish athlete. And I heard a hell of a quarterback.
Whatever. I guess so. Maybe when he cut off his hair, he's like Samson. And you cut off your hair, you lose all your strength.
Lose all your strength.
And
My
maybe,
power's in my hair.
Maybe that's what happened to him. I don't know. But he's an idiot.
Yes.
So.
Now, and he was in Fayetteville, Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Home of Walmart. Have you ever been to Fayetteville, Arkansas? It is an absolute shithole, man. I had to be there.
Do they have a cocaine kiosk like right out front?
Well, I suspect you get good deals on it because they're rolling back prices every day. But I'm just saying, dude, Fayetteville is an
Look out
absolute...
for falling prices.
It is a hole. It really is. So, I mean, if you're going to do drugs, I can understand if you're from Fayetteville. I guess that's a reason to do it.
So, anyway, that is the idiot of Matt Jones. Another idiot, former Los Angeles Rams place kicker Tony Zendejas.
Oh, Zendejas, yes.
Moron, man. Had a bar in San Dimas and decides that he was going to drug and rape one of his female customers.
Not good.
Not good.
See that? That's your IQ, buddy. 0.
Nothing more to say about that.
No, and you know what sucks is, obviously it's a horrific thing that happened, and I'd love to make jokes about San Dimas High School rules from Bill and Ted, but I can't. But, you know, Tony Zendejas, I hadn't heard that name for, what, a decade? How long ago was he the kicker?
And this is how we remember him.
I know.
It's bad. That's bad. Travis Henry, he's back. You know, marijuana again. What a surprise.
See, what had happened was the test was inconclusive. Right, they get him off last year.
Right, and then what does he do? He goes back. Who's a bigger dumbass?
Yeah.
Matt Jones with the coke in the car with the credit card, or
I'm gonna go with Travis Henry. I'm gonna go with Travis Henry. He's more stupid.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
that's a tough one.
Now, if Matt Jones comes back in 18 months and does the same thing again, then he wins, right? Because he's a class 2 drug, right? But I mean, Travis Henry
you ain't for being the biggest dumbass.
is an absolute idiot. Yeah, Henry's a bad name to have.
Okay,
right
which
now.
Henry? Travis Henry or Chris Henry?
Travis.
Who's worse?
Oh, Travis. Travis right now.
You think so? Is that because he's fathered like 85
free Chris
kids
Henry.
with 30 women?
Free Chris Henry. He was acquitted. If the 18-year-old don't, stand trial, you must acquit or whatever.
Well, Chris Henry definitely, he got off. For those who don't know, I'm sure you probably already know this today. He got off of the last couple of charges that were against him for the fight outside the nightclub. I think it was a couple months ago when he was a 19-year-old kid or whatever, student out of University of Cincinnati, I believe. Anyway, throwing the beer bottle through the car, punched him in the face, all that other kind of stuff.
Oops.
So he was let off on all the charges now. These were the last ones. So today he was let off, and he plans to
visit the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow.
He plans to talk to Jerry Jones. And
oh shit! Is Mike on here yet? If Mike was on here, he'd be throwing something at me.
He does plan on applying for reinstatement, like ASAP.
Right.
Probably because he has no money and didn't even have enough money to pay for his transcripts, and was trying to get the taxpayers to pay for that because he has no money. And like his house has been foreclosed and his car has been repoed and all the rest of that stuff. So he definitely needs to try to get back in the league somehow so he can make some money. But he's a jackass for sure.
There should be a lot more A&E or Lifetime specials on idiots like this. And Benny, I know we're saying the free Chris Henry thing, and I agree, right? I mean, if he didn't do it, then he shouldn't be in trouble for it. But the guy's a douche. He really is. I can't believe he does this much stupid stuff. And you should definitely see the downside to this, right? These guys that have everything in the world, and then he can't even make his car payment. His house gets auctioned off. If I were an independently wealthy person, after the other 14 trillion things I would do, which would be more fun, I would go buy ex-athletes' houses in auction for fun. But I'm kind of a bad person.
Probably a lot of them out there.
I'm probably just a bad person.
Could be.
I've been accused of that before.
Someone else who doesn't have too much money anymore, Mike Vick, having to file Chapter 11. It's not good. Debts between 10 to 50 million. So a lot of that going back to the. Imagine that. Dude,
you're a banker. You're a banker. I come to you and go, hey, brother, listen. I got debt.
Y'all got a debt consolidation program. Because, see, this is what happened. Okay, I'm just going to be honest with you. This is what happened. I got in trouble for fighting some dogs. Killed some. I know it's not right, but that's what happens in the past. But see, I got all this outstanding debt, and I need to see y'all got a program.
Y'all got a program for me?
Y'all got a Can I get an unsecured line for $50 million, please?
Amazing.
Wow.
Just amazing.
Wow. So, oh Lord. Anyway,
You got Odell on there? I don't mean to kick Benny when he's down, but
Odell being chased by the cops. Go ahead, man. I got it here somewhere. I don't even remember where I got it. I know that the cops are looking for him.
Yeah.
And for punching somebody in the face, I believe. You got the details on that?
No, I don't have anything. I can get them. I was too busy trying to get chat up on my computer. This is a whole new world. But let me take a look.
I was reading over.
They're after him. They're after him for a weapons charge. The police are looking for him.
The popos.
The popos are after him. Let me see here. I got the details here. Police, Northern Ohio authorities are seeking former Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Odell Thurman on felonious assault weapon.
No, felonious
assault. Oh yeah, that's
assault.
Right. With a weapon, probably his fist.
Yes.
So, anyway, Benny, I don't know if you got any information about what's going on, but we should definitely watch out. And I know I completely screwed that call up, Tony. Thanks for calling me out there. I'll give you the real details here. Felonious assault warrant. 25-year-old Thurman of Cincinnati was indicted last week by Erie County grand jury on the charge. The problem is he ain't nowhere to be found. His agent's been unable to speak with his client, couldn't comment on the charges. I imagine his only comment would be, damn, my client got busted. So he was suspended indefinitely, and now the police are looking for him. So that's the real deal. So
Red's saying that Odell
they got him?
is in no jail.
Nice. So that was the last moron in the news that I had was good old Odell.
Yeah, he's an idiot.
So I actually am going to give an honorary runner-up, what the buck were they thinking, to Brett Favre. And we're going to be talking about Brett Favre quite a bit tonight, as you guys can probably anticipate. But I was going back through the old news pieces, and I found something that's, I would call it interesting. There were like 3 or 4 times that Brett came out saying that he wasn't coming back. This isn't happening. It's just rumors. People just talking.
Mm-hmm.
It's just jokes.
Yeah.
And then he's going to come out. Now, I'm excited as anybody to see Brett Favre come back. But I'm just saying, don't come out and look like a punk. And, Shane, you're going to have to fall asleep. But we're certainly going to have to talk about Brett Favre, especially down here in Tampa country, since everyone from Chris Carter to Pat Kerwin seems to think he's in line to come down to Tampa. I think it's unlikely. But, it certainly bears conversation. And I've been in Houston, Texas, and, with all due respect, Houston sucks. And I haven't been able to talk about Buccaneer football for a week and a half.
Sure
So we're going to definitely have to talk about this some. So if it puts you to sleep, then snore quietly in the corner. So, and no, it's not a Panther sheet under that All-Star jersey, Panty. So, yeah. At any rate, we are going to talk about some other things. We got some other news we're going to go over. Do you got some more stuff over there, or you want to switch over to the normal information?
Got to mention the great Trent Dilfer.
Ah, yes.
And his retirement.
Yes.
Due to recent injury. Apparently he was going to retire anyway. But it's kind of funny because apparently the Raiders were kind of interested in him. That's what I had read. But now, yeah, he's done. He's retired because of a recent injury that he had playing basketball. And not even basketball. Not even like...
What, he's playing like horse?
Similar. Knockout.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Knockout. So, tore his Achilles. I think that's the second time.
He never moved much anyway. What does he need an Achilles tendon for?
I don't know. But
luckily, he wasn't out of work long. He signed on as a studio analyst for ESPN.
ESPN, he did. So we're going to be seeing him quite a bit. I mean, he's had a lot of jobs, man. The Bucks, the Ravens, the Seahawks, the Browns, the Niners.
And he's got a ring.
ESPN.
There was a poll on one of them fan house or something the other day about who was the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl. He was mentioned.
I'm sure.
He was mentioned. Hey, do you have any extra money on you? Because apparently the Rams are still for sale. That's a damn shame. Just saying. So there's a lot of news around the league. People are getting signed. We had the Hawaii quarterback Colt Brennan just signed.
Yep.
With the Redskins. A couple of other signings of interest out there. One other.
I actually read that Favre was interested if he's let go. If he's let go, that he's interested in possibly the Redskins, just due to the fact of the system and stuff like that, and he doesn't obviously want to be in same division that he's currently in, and there were some homes that he said that he definitely would not want to be in, like Tennessee and Atlanta and New Orleans, but surprisingly the Redskins was one. I don't know if that's just BS. Buck shirt, as Mia would like to call it, but
I gotta whip that one out real quick.
Thank you, baby.
So Chain done jumped into this. He was upset about Brett Favre, but so let's jump right into this conversation about Brett Favre. We'll go all out of order. We're gonna go water cooler style tonight, folks. So yeah, I would start Brett Favre. D. Brett Favre's here tomorrow. You start him, you don't start him.
All right, I was thinking about this.
All right.
Jeff Garcia has done a wonderful job last year with everything that he has done. Obviously, he came in, he learned the system, did well, got us to the playoffs. Now, do we go for another quarterback who's going to have to learn the system in a short time, but a quarterback who's probably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, who's going to be a Hall of Famer? Yeah, I think so. Bottom line. It's obviously a veteran quarterback can pick up the system. The system is, I have to say, somewhat similar. As long as we got the line, which has been improving, and with a strong line and a running game, which we've had. Now we can have that big arm.
So that and you're doing the same analysis I did, right? When you start talking about Brett Favre, the question becomes, would he be an upgrade to Jeff Garcia?
Yes.
Right. And I believe he would. He is certainly got a stronger arm. He knows the system inside and out. He's got rapport with John Gruden, respect between the two, which is one of the things that made Garcia so well. I'm not sure you can call him tougher or not. I mean, he was tough when he was taking a bunch of Vicodin, but he's certainly a tough quarterback, just like Garcia is.
All right, real quick. I just got to hit on this. It says the Bucs don't have a true number one, and it would ruin Brett's legacy. I don't think anything would ruin Brett's legacy. I don't think that Emmitt Smith is less of a running back because he ended up going to Arizona and did absolutely nothing compared to what he did as a Dallas Cowboy. He's always going to be remembered for what?
Yeah.
Being the leading rusher of all time.
Being a
Cowboy.
Yeah, but you got to realize we've got a nice group in here tonight. We've got some people that are not Bucs fans. Benny is a Bengals fan. We got Section 106 who's a Panthers fan. It's humorous that Benny's making fun of anybody given how the Bengals play, but I can understand what he's saying. Jeff Garcia did a good job, made it to the Pro Bowl last year. Brett Favre would have been was in the Pro Bowl as well, right? So when you look at the situation that we have with an opportunity for Brett Favre, I think that the fit would be nice, right? The question would be, would it ever happen? Would the Packers ever? First of all, the first thing was ludicrous, right? Brett had to come out and say, "I want my unconditional release." He was absolutely high, right? There's no way we're gonna give away a 3-year, $39 million contract for nothing. Let him go to, anyone in the NFC, but certainly anyone in the Central or the North now. Sorry. Now, I don't particularly think any of those systems fit him particularly well, right? Minnesota, Detroit, or Chicago. But still, if he goes anywhere there, they're doomed for him to screw them twice a year, right? So AFC is probably where he is bound if he goes anywhere, in my opinion. Miami, again, I don't know that that's a great system down there for him. They could use a quarterback, but
I read something. He said he's not interested at all in Miami, so I don't think that would ever happen.
Now, Chain brings up the real money question here. Is he worth a second-round pick? Right? Is he worth a second day pick? Probably is actually what he's talking about. I don't know the answer to that. Brett Favre, is he the missing piece to the puzzle?
For a year, possibly.
1 year, 2 max.
But you know what? I would never trade our Lombardi Trophy for anything.
Yep.
And we gave up so much for that one thing.
Give Simpson to Berg. That's funny. So Green Bay wants a second-round pick. Yeah. So Spent, you're saying Band-Aid. You're clearly saying you're not a fan of Brett Favre. What's your point? Right? Garcia's a Band-Aid. Any quarterback over 35 is a Band-Aid. Right? The question is, do you want a Super Bowl more than you want to have a 12, 13 wins a year and lose? Right? We did that. So that becomes the question, is whether you want Favre down here, whether you want to try and make a run at it. Now, the interesting thing is, strategically, what does this do for you? If you put a guy like Brett Favre in the pocket for the Bucs, and you've got Joey Galloway, and I know, Benny, you don't think we have a number one receiver because your number one receiver is bitching all the time instead of catching the ball, but Joey Galloway is still a number one receiver, a legitimate downfield threat, right? We've never had a quarterback that could outthrow Joey Galloway. Now, Luke McCown's got a pretty damn strong arm. We saw him almost outthrow Joey Galloway, but Garcia certainly cannot. So the idea would be if you have a guy like Brett back there, he can outthrow Joey Galloway. We got a little guy named Dexter Jackson who can run pretty quick, they say. You all of a sudden have a deep threat, right? So this becomes a pretty interesting situation if you get a quarterback like that. Now, I would be perfectly happy going into the season with Jeff Garcia. I'm a Jeff Garcia fan. I think you are too.
I would too.
But if you can upgrade and not take it in the rear, I think you're crazy not to.
It's not like we don't have the money.
We got plenty of money. And Benny, yeah, Galloway, I think he's actually 63, but he can still run by anyone in your defensive backfield. So, at any rate, the Brett Favre thing is going to be a discussion until he figures out what the hell is going to happen. It's going to come down to contracts, right? It's going to come down to a bunch of bean counting and figuring out how they can move that 3-year, $39 million contract. Because you sure as hell wouldn't want to assume that, right? This is a typical veteran contract that had backloading in it, right? These are the years you don't want to pay the vet, right? You've been pushing that shit off to the back end of the contract.
Animal, please explain yourself. Why you think Favre is not an upgrade?
Yeah, that would be great, Animal. Give us a piece of information about why you don't think Brett's an upgrade. You know what? I didn't give the normal, customary information about how the hell to contact us. Questions at whatthebuck.net. We are in the chat room here live on the website, whatthebuck.net. And if you have a comment you want to fire into the phone lines here, we'll give it a shot since, all the other technology failed us this evening. We'll certainly try the phone lines as well at 813-964-7364. So, and hey, Benny, you definitely should be proud of your team, right? But Joey Galloway, even from people that I know who play in the NFL, is still considered one of the fastest guys on the field, regardless of his age. So, he's no Chad Johnson, right? But he is a number one receiver in his own right. So, Favre is probably the best QB ever. He holds all the records, and Garcia struggles to back up in most places. Yet Favre is not a backup. An upgrade. Okay, so your Benny is contradicting Animal. Animal hasn't given us any more information to go with. So his contention is that Favre would be a distraction. He'd be less of a distraction if we put up 10, 15 wins or something. So at any rate, so we're going to be talking about Brett, I'm sure, intermittently throughout the evening tonight. One thing, a piece of history. I have a piece of history here, D. Okay. I don't know if you're aware of this. Who did Brett Favre play in his first game as a Green Bay Packer? Anyone? Anyone?
I don't know.
It would be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The second game of the 1992 season. Packers played the Tampa... What? For real. I did not know that. Top row, second in.
I did not know that.
There you go.
Did not know that.
Packers played against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We were leading 17-0 at the half. Holmgren benched the Magic Man, Don Majkowski.
What?
I know. How do you bench the Magic Man?
I don't know.
Favre played the second half. He threw his first regular season play as a Packer. He threw a pass that was deflected and caught by himself. He was tackled for a 7-yard loss.
What?
They lost the game 31-3, chalking up only 106 yards passing. And there you have it.
I did not know that.
You know what? We
Thank
try
you.
and provide information. We are a wealth of knowledge here at What the Buck.
That was very informative.
So that is the information. Animal, you did get it. You did get it. So, at any rate, we will continue to talk about this as the day proceeds. I thought I had heard some noise about Rondé talking smack about Jeff, but I wasn't able to find that anywhere. So if you know anything about that, please let me know. I think that may have been the first pass to himself. There was another one, but at any rate, that is what's going on. Obviously, there's lots of rumors and speculation around the Brett Favre situation. And it will continue to be a discussion. Now, other discussions in the Tampa Bay arena, D. Chris Sims.
Chris who?
Chrissy Sims. Where's Jim Rome? We need Jim Rome here. Phenomenal. You can call him Chrissy, Chris Everett.
Chris Everett.
Call him Chris Everett, get jacked in the mouth.
I bet you won't.
Hey, Benny, I
bet
hear
you
what you're
will.
saying. I hear what you're saying. I looked this up today, though. And the Bengals may have been his first start, but the Bucs was the first regular season game he played for the Packers in, according to my sources. So the phone numbers again are 813-964-7364. Now, Animal's chiming back in saying he would bring stability to the QB spot. Not really. No more than Jeff Garcia. He's another old, well-traveled Pro Bowl quarterback. So,
Well-traveled?
Well, that's true. Well-traveled in 4,000 seasons, not well-traveled meaning other teams.
And 4,500 yards per
yeah.
season, maybe he's well-traveled.
Yep.
But
Yep. Good point. So Sims has been linked to a couple of different teams. The Cowboys, which if Mike is online, will probably make his stomach turn a little bit. The Lions. And Bears.
They're the Tampa Bay Bucks, or the Detroit Bucks.
Oh, yeah.
As I like to
Marinelli. Bucks North. So, yeah, I know. TSZ Mike would absolutely go nuts if Sims went over there. So, I don't know. He doesn't have to go to Dallas. He's just got to go away from here. Because we need the spot, I'm sure.
So the whole thing with Dallas is talking about bringing him in as a backup.
To Romo.
Possibly a trade there for Terry Glenn. What's your thought on that?
If we got more than a bag of Doritos for him, I'd be very happy.
Do you think that we will? Do you think it's going to hold out? Because I read from, who said this? Pat Yasinskis from ESPN.com. He said that he thinks that the Bucks will release Sims before the start of training camp.
Right, so why don't they just wait? Why don't they just wait and pick him up?
That's exactly what he's saying. He's saying
Yep.
teams are not willing to give up draft picks for Sims via trade because at this point they know that Sims is not in the Buccaneers' future.
Yeah. Well, and that's why we'll take a bag of Doritos. So anyone out there who's got a bag of Doritos and wants Chris Sims to come over and give him a back rub.
I could use a bag of Doritos right about now, I'll be honest with you.
I understand. Oh, look, we got some more people showing up tonight. We got a bunch of the regulars in here. We got Mr. Butabi showing up in the chat room. Chrissy's in the house. I'm not sure who Chrissy is, but
Sims.
welcome. No, it's not Chrissy Sims, I'm sure.
My bad.
So, hey, Buck32, that blue color you've got is absolutely impossible to read for me. I don't know about anyone else. Can Sims be like another Dilfer, go to another team and win a Super Bowl? Sure, every quarterback that plays for the Bucks can go somewhere else and win a Super Bowl. It just sort of happens that way.
That way,
Steve Young.
Yeah. Y'all better watch out for like the Rams picking up Gronkowski. You never know.
Hey.
That's a joke.
The Polish Pistol.
That's
the Polish Pistol might save Scott Linehan's job in
joke.
St. Louis.
I got a buddy, Chris Kershaw. You know Chris in our fantasy football.
Yeah.
Big Rams fan. Put out a bet last year that the Rams.
Buck32 is calling in. Let me grab him on the line here.
Yeah.
Hey, Buck32, how you doing?
Good, man. How you doing?
Good. Let me let D. Sanchez finish his thought here, and then we'll switch over to you.
No problem. Go ahead.
No, it's not a big deal. It's just, he's a big Rams fan.
Yeah.
And nothing wrong with supporting your home team, but put out a bet to someone. I won't say who. It wasn't me. But put out a bet that they would make it last year to the Super Bowl.
The Rams?
Yes. Yeah, he ended up having to pay up on that one.
I hope he didn't bet much.
Definitely more than I would have bet. I was trying to accept the bet, but he had already made it to one person, and he didn't want to make the same bet, make the same dumbass mistake twice. But much love going out to Chris Kershaw.
Absolutely. All right, hey, Buck32, we got you on the line. What you got for us tonight, brother?
Not much, man. I just wanted to call on the Favre thing because obviously that's the that's all over ESPN and NFL. So.
Okay. You got something new you got something new for us?
No, not really. I mean, just my point of view is at this point, with Favre saying he wants to come back, he's kind of putting the Packers in a no-win situation. As far as if they don't bring him back and they do bad, then all the fans are going to say, well, why didn't you bring Favre back? But at the same time, if he comes back and if he comes back and doesn't play, then they're going to say, well, he should have played. Or if they trade him and he does good somewhere else, or at the same time, if they bring him back and somehow he does start and the team does bad, then they'll say, well, they should have never brought him back.
Yeah, I agree. I think he's put the Packers in an incredibly tough spot. I don't think he needs to worry about that. He doesn't owe the Packers to do anything else. He's certainly given them plenty in his years of service. If they pushed him into retirement or he felt that way, I feel bad he wasn't able to convey that at the time. But the fact of the matter is he did retire, and so now it's on him. And if he wants to go play somewhere else, then there's just becomes simply a financial transaction, and it's going to suck for the fans up there because they're already having rallies and they're trying to get Brett back. You got Aaron Rodgers, who's done exactly what he should do, kept his mouth shut, tried to learn behind Brett, and he's ready to step up. But what's funny is Hammy brings up a good point, right? He says Rodgers in the last year of his contract. I thought he had 2 years.
He still has 2 years.
2 years. All right, we got an Orlando number here. I'm gonna try and join him into the call here real quick. Hello, what the buck?
Hey, Derek.
Hey, is this B. Adams in the house?
This is B. Adams.
B. Adams. I'm gonna try and conference you with our other call here, who I put on hold somehow.
Oh shit! I gotta turn my stereo.
Yeah, turn it down, brother.
Yeah, turn down.
All right, we're gonna bring him into the conference. All right, B, you in here?
Yeah.
Buck 32, you in here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Holy crap! All the normal
Look at
technology that normally works.
What the fuck has come to?
Hey, you know what, B? What's funny is normally the other shit works really, really well, and the phone sucks. And tonight the phone's working well. So we got B. Adams on the line here. What you got coming from Orlando?
Just to talk about Favre. I think it's ridiculous that the Pack. I understand the whole. We want to grow with Aaron Rodgers. They've been waiting up for years. But man, he's not proven. Brett Favre's coming off a great year. Why not give him? Hey, Favre's coming back. He's probably got 2 or 3 more years in him. Without the pussyfooting and the I got to retire every year and the tears.
Now,
that's a good quarterback. And who puts him in a better position to win than Brett Favre? It's not Aaron Rodgers.
Well, at some point, a team's got to move forward. Now, I got to let people know, B, you've got a little bit of a bias with Brett Favre because you were Brett Favre when Brett Favre was not cool, right? You were Brett Favre in Atlanta, Brett Favre. So,
well, I wouldn't say that. I don't really care about him. I like his, like any other average Joe. I like his tough man ability. And his scruffy face and all that. But he's a good-looking
man.
And
he has taut buttocks. Hey, what's funny is we got Benny, the Bengals fan, talking about Brian Braum, another Louisville piece of junk. No, I hear what you're saying. If I were Green Bay, I would have a hard time. I would want to start Favre too. But at some point, they made the decision as a franchise to move forward with Aaron Rodgers, who they've invested a lot of money in.
They did, but I've also seen too
didn't they just draft another quarterback this year or last year?
Yeah, they drafted one this year.
So I don't know. I think Brett Favre is when he the whole thing with him having his emotional goodbye and having the press conference and saying he wants to play but he just doesn't feel that he can make it through another training camp and or an OTAs, and now all of a sudden a few weeks resting, sitting on the couch. I think his wife's probably saying, look, you either need to go back to football or find another job.
Yeah, well, you know what? I don't think you'll ever see him in the commentator booth, though. But I'll tell you what, Brett Favre he's done this the last 3 years. It's always a big drama.
He has done it last 3 years.
It's always a big drama with him. And why not? You're going to give the keys of the offense to Aaron Rodgers? That's ridiculous. They just came off an NFC title game there.
Well, they were saying
that's the guy you want to give it to.
Hold on, B. Hold on. Let D. Sanchez get a word in edgewise.
That's right.
All right, B.
They were saying Ted Thompson, the GM for the Packers. Originally, yes, that's what was said, that he could come back, but he was going to come back and be the backup. Well, yesterday I had read, unless something changed today, but yesterday I read that Ted Thompson clarified his earlier statement and said that Brett Favre would he clarified an earlier report that stated Favre would return as a backup. Thompson said if Favre came back, he would be a member of the Packers. His role, however, is undetermined at this time, and he is not closing the door as far as being the starting quarterback.
Well, it's one of those things where we're not going to know what the hell is going to happen for quite a few weeks. But
yeah, he's got 3 years left on that contract he signed too as well. So, now if he does get traded, any team that they trade for, doesn't that contract go with them? Correct?
it doesn't. Well, you have to take on the financial responsibility, but you can restructure.
If he's willing
Yeah,
to.
I
I don't know
can't
if he's willing
see-
to, but we have the money to do that. At least right now. Do we make that kind of commitment?
But again,
No.
you're doing the Bucks would be doing something that they didn't want to do earlier in this year, and that's put a lot of money into one player's pocket.
And that, are you saying Jeff Garcia? Because maybe
No,
they knew
I'm
this
saying-
all along. Who knows?
Huh?
I mean, maybe they knew this all along. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I never thought that I'd even think that it's a possibility of Brett Favre coming here to Tampa Bay. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, but maybe somehow the Bucks and Bruce Allen somehow was in the ear, or there was some kind of talks that were behind the scenes, and we were all saying, well, when are we going to spend money? We got all this money to spend. When are we going to spend money? We haven't signed Jeff Garcia. Well, Jeff Garcia is signed, but we haven't given him the contract that he wants, you know? So maybe something was known and has been known for a while.
So I don't know. I think signing Brett Favre, that would. I don't know. Luke McCown would be behind all three. I mean, that means
Behind
you would
all
have
three. Behind all
Favre-
three. Explain.
Well, I didn't mean all three. I mean, you'd have Brett Favre, you'd have Greasy.
Greasy
you'd
would
have-
be cut. I'll tell you this: if we sign Brett Favre, Brian Greasy's gone the next day.
Do you
And
think
then
so?
you have
Or do you
McCown,
think
and
Jeff
you have
Garcia would be
No.
well, Sims. Sims eventually, hopefully, will be gone. Before during
gone
training
already.
camp.
Yep.
And then you have the rookie, was it Johnson that we just drafted?
Yeah, Josh Johnson.
So
So out of all those quarterbacks, and include Brett Favre, who gives us the best opportunity to win a Super Bowl this year?
Brett Favre.
Hey,
32?
man.
Adams? I mean,
Oh, shit. He's on the. No. Damn.
I like Brett Favre. Don't get me wrong, but
we've already said that whether it's Brett Favre or whether it's Jeff
Either
Garcia,
one.
they're both Band-Aids. They're only here for a year or two. Okay,
Right.
we already know that.
that's the only way I'd take Brett Favre if he signed maybe a 2-year contract.
Absolutely.
2 years. I mean, you got this kid McCown. I mean, it's going to end up being not that it's going to end up, but I mean, eventually McCown's either going to be the starter, or he's going to end up wanting to leave to become the starter somewhere else.
Well, everyone's
then
going to
we're
want to be the
back at-
starter. Every quarterback wants to be the starter. Right now,
Right, but
McCown
I
has
mean-
been stood beside through injuries. Right, he needs to keep doing whatever the hell we tell him to do, and play football. Right, but right now the question becomes, if you could have any of those guys start, who would be the guy to take you to the Super Bowl? Right, and I think the
Yeah,
most
it's
talented
definitely
quarterback on that
Favre.
list is Brett Favre, without a question.
I'm going to have to agree with what Buck Jason says. I don't think that Jeff Garcia would be here if we got Favre. I don't think so.
It's his right? I mean, he can sit out, he can do whatever the hell he wants to, but I would be willing to bet that the choice would be Garcia over Greasy. But he may not get that right, you know.
Well, what if
But then that means
it's
that
just
you're
kind of,
paying, you're paying what, $5 million to a backup plus having. I don't
Well, let me
know.
throw another scenario out there. What if we trade Garcia and Greasy for Favre?
Why? Who would take that?
Somebody-
Who's going to take a
somebody
2-for-1
wants to
quarterback slot? Are you playing Madden over here? All right, Buck32. I'm done with you, Madden. Thanks for calling
Hey, man,
in,
I'm
man.
just
You
throwing
just
out
you just hit the
scenarios.
Madden thing.
He's getting ready for
I'm
fantasy
just
football,
throwing
man.
out
Where the
scenarios
hell is
that
my
you never
Jazzler
can
here?
tell, man.
Fire the
I've
new
seen
guy.
crazier deals.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for calling in, Buck32.
All right,
You
man.
pushed me
Y'all
over the
have a good
edge.
one.
See ya. All right, B, you're still on the line. I just did the whole mute deal on our boy Buck32. We appreciate the call, though.
Well, we could put Daryl Armstrong in that trade. Then
Oh
might
God,
work out.
no way you brought Daryl
Somebody
Armstrong
needs
up.
an old point guard, an old quarterback, and
Oh my God.
another old quarterback. That's ridiculous. Hey, I'm not against Brett Favre. I think if we could get him, like he said though, he brought up a good point. If we can get him for a 2-year contract, not a bad deal, and he could. I think our team's at the point where we can compete, especially in the NFC. But other than that, geez, I'm not a big Garcia fan either. So
At
I
the
don't
end of
know.
the day, you need in my opinion, right now, you need a veteran quarterback who's well versed in the West Coast offense. I think Garcia and Favre are both head and shoulders above anyone else on the roster. I think the most interesting battle coming into training camp in the QB spot is between Greasy and McCown. They're contrasting styles, and McCown can do a lot to solidify his position as sort of Bucs quarterback of the future. And I know we got Josh Johnson, but he's a project. So.
Yeah, and that was the same with Chris Sims. Unfortunately, this franchise, they looked to find a quarterback, a few years ago.
Maybe we should
and
go for the
they picked
Pillsbury
wrong. They
Snowboy.
picked wrong. They picked Chris Sims, and they should have tried to develop somebody. And we just haven't hit the jackpot yet. And it takes teams, years before they can do that.
Yep. It's a crapshoot, dude. It's a lottery. We talk about this all the time on the show. Everyone thinks it's easy to just go get a franchise quarterback. You go to a big name school, big gun, bring someone in. I don't know, maybe someone from Fresno State who sets a bunch of records, and then he becomes Trent Dilfer and goes and wins the Super Bowl with the Ravens, right?
Yeah.
And it's not just us, right? Every team does the same shit, right? I mean, Achilles Smith, I think he actually served me Sonic this morning. So.
Do you know?
Oh, they got good biscuits.
All right, we're going to digress into talking about food. B, thanks for calling in, man. It's great to hear your voice, brother.
Yeah,
Achilles
all right. We'll
Smith.
talk soon. Good show.
All right, take care.
That's funny that you bring him up.
Well-
Just on Saturday, prior to our outing, me and DJ were sitting there watching the Super Bowl video.
Yeah.
And just watching us play against Cincinnati and Achilles Smith as the quarterback.
Yeah.
It was awesome. And Keyshawn, these are people who step on their throat.
I just realized I didn't mean to pick on Benny again with a Cincinnati Bengal, but it just happened. It just happened. Sorry, Benny. That absolutely was not intentional. I want to thank the folks that called in, B. Adams and Buck32. That number again is 813-964.
Big ass John Randall.
7364. If you've got comments or in-depth questions you want to fire over at us, we have questions at whatthebuck.net. We are enjoying the chat room live on our homepage at www.whatthebuck.net. I want to thank the folks that are in there with us. Buck32, Spent, Animal, Test User, who I think is me on another computer. Section 106 representing the Panthers proudly. World of Hammy, Creepy Crawly, D. Sanchez to my right, Benny, myself, Chain, Buck Jason, Naughty Girl's in the house, fresh off of her Dave Matthews Band groupie gig, where I heard she got into a cat fight and did something with a drumstick, and I don't want to go any further than that.
What?
No, literally a drumstick. She caught a drumstick at the concert. And Red 75.
I ate some drumsticks the other night. That was good.
And James Butabi. Oh, we had some Hooters. We did. The birthday celebration had some Hooters. It was good stuff. Did you say the Bengals are going to be in the Super Bowl, Benny? Are you actually high currently? Wow. That is astonishing.
I will take that bet.
Yeah, no kidding. So, what's up with the Rays, man? We've been talking Brett Favre and nonstop speculation for a while. We have any updates on the Evan Longoria? What's going on?
No, it actually doesn't start until 8 o'clock. So, not on just yet, but it will be coming on. The Rays, well, they've hit a skid.
A little bit of a slump.
Little
We've had a reversal.
A little bit of a slump. Yeah, we were on a roll. Won 7 straight. Then they lost 7 straight. All these 7 games have been. Actually, no, not all of them have been on the road. One of them was the last game of the Kansas City series that was here. But basically, their bats have not come alive. And
That's not good.
They really haven't been alive really all year. I've mentioned in the past that really nobody has hit over 300. Navarro actually still is hitting over 300 barely. But besides that, he is the only regular player, and I say regular because there's a couple guys that have hopped in a couple games here and there that do have a higher batting average. But Navarro, who did make the All-Star team, so congratulations to him, as well as Scott Kazmir and Evan Longoria, the rookie. But Navarro is the only guy that's hitting over 300. So it's hard to win games when you're only averaging less than 2 runs a game. And in that stretch, in that 7-game stretch, I believe they were shut out at least twice, possibly even 3 times. I'm trying to remember back, but it's been difficult, man. They're just not hitting the ball. They used to be hitting the ball with guys in scoring position. Now they're just leaving guys on base. I mean, the pitching, you can't really get too onto them, although we did get shelled the other night. But I mean, if we're losing the game, giving up 2 runs, 3 runs, and we're not putting up anything, then that's a big problem. So I think the All-Star break came at a good time for them. They did slide back into second place in the AL East behind the Boston Red Sox. So they're a half game back, but now they get a couple days off, and hopefully they can regroup and get their minds back into it. And it's better to happen now than towards the end of the season, if they are making a playoff push. So they're still 16 games above 500, which is the best that they've ever been at this point, if I'm not mistaken. But, I look forward to the second half of the season for them. Although, I'll be honest with you, I'm probably not going to pay as much attention to them now just because football season is
Thank God, football season's starting.
But I definitely will be still supporting them and, checking on my Black Bears, seeing what the scores are.
And Buck 32, you're right. There's still a lot of baseball to be played, and that's true pretty much any time of the year because it's a 4,000 game season, as I've bitched about more than once.
Well, that's why it's good that if this is going to happen, that it's happening now.
Yeah,
because,
absolutely.
Trade deadline's coming up. They could make a move. We'll have to see what happens there, but definitely those bats gotta start kicking up. So it's kind of funny that I was reading something that basically Carl Crawford, he's if not the captain, like a captain on the team, and when he's hitting the ball, then it kind of seems like everybody's hitting the ball, and he hasn't hit the ball lately, and nobody has. So it's been pretty bad. But anyway, big ups to those guys who did make the All-Star team. Evan Longoria, good luck to you in the home run contest this evening. And I don't know about you, but I'll be watching the All-Star game tomorrow. It's always fun to watch them.
I think there's a curling match I'll be watching instead.
Shut the ass.
No, it's good to see him doing well, right? And hopefully we're going to do the What the Buck night over at the Trop and have fun with that.
I got a date in mind of August 2nd. August 2nd. Mark your calendars.
August 2nd. Who we playing?
Saturday.
Who we playing?
We are playing, if I'm not mistaken, it's Detroit.
Detroit.
So, night game. Should be a lot of fun. Also, there's a concert that night. So, even if you don't like the Rays and you want to come out for the concert.
Oh, tell me it's Earth, Wind, and Fire.
It is not.
Damn it!
It is one. LL Cool J.
Oh, the ladies love Cool J.
That's right.
They were rocking an LL at Splitsville, and we were commenting about how we haven't heard him in a long time.
And they will be there that night.
Wow.
Yep. So.
Hear that, ladies? For all you ladies who do love the Cool J, you're going to have to come out August 2nd. So.
And yes, MC Hammer is also coming, but not at that time. He's coming before. He's coming like in a week or so. He's too legit to quit. So.
Well, you got to pray that you don't get your house taken away.
Yeah, he had a little bit of money issues. But.
So, and Creepy's asking a little bit about Lightning. I got to admit, I'm not particularly well-versed. I know that the Lightning have essentially had a damn fire sale. They've gutted that organization.
The Lightning have let go of a lot of people. Obviously, John Tortorella is gone. Jay Feaster, the GM, he resigned on Friday. You can say he was kind of pushed out. You can say whatever. But, my understanding, Oren Koulis and his new ownership group, they're serious.
Oh yeah.
They want something happening right away. So they've signed some big people. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see what exactly happens. Apparently he was like, this is the direction that we're going, and Feaster, if you want to be part of this and help us with this, then that's fine. And if you don't, well then here's a settlement. And he said, basically he was like, well, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity, but I'm gone. So, and that's fine. So now a new GM will come in. Obviously, Barry Melrose has come in as the new head coach. So we shall see what will happen with them. Vinny LeCavalier signing the big deal that should keep him here
forever.
He's
on like a 40-year deal for a hockey player.
11-year deal for $85 million.
Yeah, that's not bad.
$85 million.
That's pretty good money.
That's after signing his last contract, which was a 4-year, like $27.4 million. So he's making some cheese, and he's not going anywhere.
No.
He's
no, and Barry Melrose should be entertaining, if nothing else. And our boy Stamkos on the videos looks pretty impressive. So we'll see how that whole thing works out. I heard Esposito on the radio this morning. They had him on, who it was, Rock Riley and Whitney were filling in for Ian and Ron, and they had Esposito on, and he was funny as hell, man. He was absolutely just shooting from the hip and talking about how players don't know how to play in front of the net anymore and they need to go back to the tape, and it was good radio, I think. And no, we're not going to give Kyle Busch any love because that's NASCAR. Oh, my God. Spent, will you please get Section 106 the hell out of here talking about NASCAR? I know that's going to get me shot in my neighborhood, but anyway.
Chuck Norris can score goals without even playing in the game. The puck is afraid of him.
Here we are. We're coming up on the 8 o'clock hour. We got about a half hour left. We're going to talk a little bit about road trips, a little bit about training camp because that's the next big event coming out. And then we're going to check the mailbag. We don't have any info in from the mailbag. And, I wasn't talking about Vanilla Ice, one Robbie Van Winkle. I heard he got busted for beating up his girlfriend. Didn't you report on that a couple weeks ago?
Who's that?
Good old Vanilla Ice.
No, I didn't report on that.
Maybe it was Sean. Maybe it's the doc. I mean, look at the doc.
Wow.
You know the doc likes Vanilla Ice. Look at the grill on him. Or on video delay. I can't. I'm trying to look to make sure that it gets shown up there. Look at his hair. I don't know why he's got that black eye. I made him a demon. Anyway, let's talk a little bit about our road trips for those of you who are local. And I don't know how many people are locally. I know that Naughty Girl's local, Spence local, a couple of you folks are. We've talked about it a couple times, and we're going to keep talking about it because I don't know about you, D, but I'm very excited about New Orleans. September 7th,
For sure.
we're booked, ready to go. Buck Fan Tours, our boys over there, Dennis, hooked us up. We got the fat hookup on the deal over there. A bunch of us are going. I know Spence in. I'm sure Benny. And we're all going to have a great time over there. We need some beads, folks. If you guys have any contacts to get custom-made beads, we want some seriously cool beads. So if you've got contacts for that, please hit us up at questions@whatthebuck.net. Our boy on merchandise is not coming through for us on that. And that's you, Nap, if you're out there listening. So we definitely need some What the Buck beads. At any rate, the other away game that I know I'm going to, I think Spence going to, D's not going to be able to join us due to work responsibilities, is Chicago.
Chicago,
the Windy City at Soldier Field. And we've got some tentative plans to try and get out to Charlotte and also to Hotlanta. And I got word today that if I can get my big ass up to Detroit for the away game in Detroit, I got tickets waiting for me.
What?
Yeah, my buddy's husband just got a job with the Lions, is meeting with Commissioner Goodell tomorrow. He's got a front office job with the Lions, and he gets 4 tickets to every game and never uses them because they don't know no peeps up there.
Wow.
So I just got to get to Detroit, and I'll be hooked up. So at any rate, World of Hammy, you're going to go to the Lions game? I will do my best start walking. Yeah. That is so not going to happen. But at any rate, we got training camp coming up right around the corner. And, D, you've got a little vacation coming up. You're going to be vacationing a little bit and then do a little training camp.
I got to work on my tan, Got to get some sun.
It's a damn shame when I start making... Oh, wait, no, I don't make you look light.
No.
So, at any rate, we got training camp coming up, as you guys are well aware. July 26th, 8:30 session is the first session at Wide World of Sports in Orlando. So, you and I are going to be rocking it there Saturday and Sunday and be able to get away from the family.
Oh, yeah.
Now, Saturday we've got a morning and an afternoon session. Sunday we have only a morning session. The afternoon session is truncated. Well, we have both, I guess. It's 2:45 to 4 o'clock outdoors, and then they go into the private tent, and we don't get to watch that part.
That's Buck shirt, if you ask me.
I agree. Where's Mia at? Mia! I agree, baby girl. That's true. So we will definitely be there that weekend, and then I'm going to be up there at least Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. I had originally planned to do a week, but work is starting to cramp in on my style, and that makes me very, very unhappy. So, sports guy is chiming in. I know he's a Giants fan. Do we think the Giants have a shot at repeating this year?
Absolutely not.
Why is that?
Because
Gap retired?
Because it was the gapless wonder. We kind of talked about this very briefly the other night. I am not looking forward to seeing him on TV. I really don't, because now we have to see it like up close, and it's like this wide, and I just don't want to see that.
His strength is in his gap.
It is.
Look at the team though. So they lost him. They got Justin Tuck filling in for him, right?
They lost a lot of people. Justin Tuck played well. I will give him that, but I don't think so. I'm not by any means saying that what they did was a fluke, because any team that can go on the road and win 10 games that's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. But I don't see it happening again. I just don't. I don't.
I don't think they're going to repeat. They certainly have a chance. Everyone in the NFC has a chance. I certainly think that they've got to be considered, in the top 5 right now in the power rankings, regardless.
When Strahan ran, he whistled.
But I don't think they're going to be
Nice.
able to put it together. They put together a hell of a run towards the end of the year. They peaked at the right time, but they're going to have the mark on their back this year, and that's always a problem when you come back. So nice, creepy. The only lock is the Tampa Bay Bucks. You know what? I got to find out here. If someone has time to look this up, I'll look it up if no one else does. I believe, and I think I reported this previously,
What's up?
that if the Bucks did make it to the Super Bowl, which I certainly hope they do, they would actually be the visiting team this year. NFC is visiting team this year.
I don't care.
I know, but I just think it's kind of humorous that if you got to the damn game in your own town, you'd be rocking it in the visitor locker room.
So then what? We got to wear red? And
Well-
in February?
Well,
I mean-
no, that's not the problem. The funny part, and Shane says I'm correct. The humorous part is when I was in Houston,
Does that mean
and
they got to be on the other side of the
they have to be in the other locker room and on the other side of the field.
Really?
Yeah, and so I was in Houston, and when I actually got a chance to go to, Safeco in Seattle when I lived out there, and we had a party when I worked at Microsoft, and we got to go down to the locker rooms and all that, and home locker room, dope.
Oh, I'm sure.
Visiting locker room, not so much. It was the same way at the Astros field, whatever the hell it's called. It used to be Enron Field, now it's something else, but orange related, not Tropicana. Anyone a baseball fan knows where the hell the Astros play? Anyway,
Astros?
yeah. Anyway,
Sorry.
they're the same situation. We got a chance to go on a tour, and it was quite humorous because the visiting locker room was like a damn high school locker room. And I care, Red 75, and since I got the mic, you got to listen. I just think it's humorous that our Buccaneers could be sitting there going, man, them other guys are sitting on our leather couches. So the Cowboys certainly should contend, right? Sports Guy asked if the Cowboys could contend. They've got all of the talent in the world. Minute Maid Park, thanks, Sports Guy. I knew it was orange related. Green Bay is going to be an interesting situation with Aaron Rodgers, right? He's sort of an unproven entity at this point, but and Creepy says Dallas is a lock going to jail. Very, very funny. And thank you, Mr. Butabi. Minute Maid Park was the park in Houston that I got to tour last week. One of the few interesting things that I did last week. Red 75 joking around about Atlanta. Nice. At any rate, so yeah, we will be broadcasting live from training camp. I have not gotten confirmation back from the Bucks about our training camp credentials. My guess is they're going to try and screw us, and that would be absolutely, Mia, it would. And when they don't come back to me with any information, I say, what? But I'm gonna call someone up and find out what's going on, because
It's really unfair.
You better ask somebody.
you don't know, you better ask somebody. So we'll find out what the deal is. But even if they try and hold us back, I got my cell phone and we'll be rocking the laptop and we'll broadcast pirate style, whether they like it or not. So at any rate, we will get it covered, and you guys should get video updates from training camp. We're going to be doing things on as often as we can during the actual presentation. Our boy Gerdog is supposed to be buying his dope new camera and supposed to finally do some work for us instead of talking about it and never doing it.
That'd be good.
So we should have some decent pictures for you too. And Creepy, I do have those sound bites. I wasn't able to download them yet. I do have the soundboard up though, and I know that it has nothing to do whatsoever. But I'm gonna play this anyway.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Because soundboard.com is very dope. If you guys are bored one day and you go out to soundboard.com, they've got clips and they have like a Java player, and it's very, very humorous. But I haven't been able to download them yet, but I will, and I appreciate you sending that in, Creepy. That's good looking out. So at any rate, so training camp coming up. We got a big battle with the quarterbacks. Buck Jason's gonna talk to the Glazers. Thanks, I appreciate that. That's good looking out. And Benny, if they accept the charges, I might be able to get Thurman to call in from jail. Very nice. I figured he was hiding out beforehand. I thought you might have had a front row seat to that whole thing. And I have no idea about Madden 09. My Xbox 360 has a red ring of death. I got to ship it back.
I don't know about it either. I just got a Wii.
What's up? Bowling style. What's up?
Very happy about that.
And no, I'm not going to go to the PS3. I worked at Microsoft, and the Xbox 360 is a superior platform anyway. So enjoy your Sony, sports guy. Much love, but enjoy a bad network. At any rate, let's get back onto some sports topics. We're not going to make this a Madden PS3 debate. Sports Guy, you and I can chat
If
over at
anybody's
TSV.
got it up, let me know what's going on with the home run derby in the chat. If anybody has it up, which you really shouldn't be watching the TV during our show anyway.
Absolutely. So, and you know what? That's funny. Worldly Hammy, you just brought up a good point, and I was going to not talk about Xbox and crap like that, but you're right. Madden and EA specifically, by way of Tiburon, has killed the football game by getting exclusive rights to the NFL. It used to be you had 3 major contenders out there producing football games, and you had competition, and they got better each year. And now Madden just gets the same shit each year with one little minor feature addition here and there, and it sucks. So, anyway, thank you very much for bringing that up, Hammy. I do appreciate that. And whether you play on the PS3 or the Xbox 360, it doesn't really matter because that's crap anyway that you only have one choice.
It's in the game. Nice.
So...
We haven't brought this up, and I got to get your thoughts on it.
Yeah, sure.
We kind of brought it up in the past, but reports are from, let's see, that Kevin Jones is supposed to be visiting this week.
Oh, holy crap, I had that written down here. Kevin Jones is waiting for a call from us, as is Eddie Kennison, apparently.
Eddie Kennison? Really?
Eddie Kennison.
Interesting. So what's up, man? So what do you think?
I'm tired of.
If we can get him
I
cheap,
get tired. Oh, look, you need the face. Here you go. Here you go, dude. There you go.
If we can get him cheap, then I'd like to go for anybody that can help the team.
Well, he didn't play for the U, so he clearly doesn't have any talent. No, I don't think we need Kevin Jones. He's coming off.
That's bullshit, man. That's just bullshit.
He's coming off of some injuries. I think it's unnecessary. I think we have plenty of talent already on the roster. I think he's damaged goods.
You think so?
I do.
I don't think so.
You want him?
I'd like him.
Who are you gonna cut?
Nobody.
We're gonna have a roster of 63 running backs.
Better than 63 quarterbacks.
That's true.
At least then, because how many running backs every year go down in training camp?
Yeah.
At least then, if we can get him now, if he helps us out, then great. If he can show something that he can still play after that injury, why not? I mean, he's not even working right now. So, yeah, I'd like to get him. Like I said before, when he's on the field, he can play. And he's shown it against our Buccaneer D.
That was the only game he showed it last year. No, he actually put up 106 against Chicago, I think. But and Benny thinks that Jones would be better than Warwick Dunn, and I think that has confirmed the fact that Benny may be actually high while he's watching this program. But that's all right because we still love Benny for being here. So, what do you guys think we'll have to do to prove he's better than his brother?
Eli? You talking about Eli?
Oh, Eli. Sorry, I'm so used to not reading a name that's just 3 letters with 2 vowels.
What'd you think it said, Ellie?
I read right past it. I don't know. I think he'll have to actually produce on his own. Eli just kind of held the position. He got it done at the end last year. I don't think he's a game breaker. I think that Peyton is a head and shoulders better quarterback than Eli is. So. Nah, he can talk about the Giants, Benny. It's okay. You know, I would say you talked about the Bengals, but you didn't. We made fun of the Bengals. So, and they are the champs. So. But so Kevin Jones, I mean, he's one of those guys that you wish he hadn't gotten injured as often as he seems to have gotten injured because he always shows flashes, right? So I mean, am I interested? Look at what we got now. You got Graham, Bennett, Dunn. We got young guy beats up his girlfriend. No, that was Lionel Gates. We cut him. The other one, Darby, and then you got Cadillac, who still seems to insist he's going to play. And we haven't put him on a pup yet. So if he's actually suited up and is in training camp running, I don't think we got room on that roster necessarily for Jones, given where we need other people. I mean, because I don't think you want to thin down the tight end core too much, right? Though I would probably say going in with 3 is enough. I don't really care which 3, as long as Alex Smith and Ben Troop are 2 of them. So would I trade like a spot in the tight end roster for a spot at the running back roster? Yeah, I would. And so in that regard, I would absolutely go with it. Yeah. As long as we got him for cheap.
Or even one of these wide receivers that you know aren't going to make the team anyway.
Yeah.
Because we go to camp with 35 wide receivers.
Absolutely. You start using like letters instead of numbers on the jerseys, it's kind of sick. Yeah.
They have to duplicate them. There's like 2 number 35s out there.
Yeah.
So I like him. I would like to see what he can do coming off the injury.
Bug chasing. He'll have to kill his brother. That's the only way Eli can be better than Peyton. that is funny.
That is funny.
And you know, Benny, I know you're hating on Warwick Dunn, and I don't think he's gonna get a whole lot of snaps, but I think he's got a lot more game than you're giving him credit for. The rookie symposium, yeah, you heard about that one, right, D?
What's up?
About Talib and Boyd getting in a fight.
Yeah, I heard.
So, you know, we had a heated conversation over at the captain's deck, and I'm now going to ignore more Giants questions at the Strahan. We already said we don't want him on a damn talk show with his gap tooth. There was a report from Pro Football Talk that that Talib and Boyd had gotten into a heated altercation at the rookie symposium and ended up coming into a fight. And then, according to number one Buck fan over at the captainsdeck.net, and I haven't given enough love out to our supporters out there, we've got our spot up there. We want to thank the folks over at the captainsdeck.net. Some of you may be over in the chat room, even though we've kind of migrated over to this one. Captainsdeck.net, you folks have been supporting us from day one. We appreciate all the love you throw our way and all the things you do. Spent and crew, everyone from over there. We've also got some other fan boards we want to send out some shout-outs to. Pewtercrew.com. The redesign looks phenomenal. We appreciate everything that you guys do as well. But the thread for this particular conversation was over at the captainsdeck.net, and it was with number one Buck fan, myself, Jet Speed, and Merlin, I believe. And the reports all came out saying that there was actually a fight. It was separated by a Packers front office person. But NFL.com apparently reported that there was no physical altercation. It was all shouting. We don't have any information. Number one didn't have the link. But regardless, I think that they're idiots. I think for a couple of reasons. We're going to give them the big... So here's the thing.
Trademark stupidity.
You want that one? Yeah, we got that one somewhere. Where the hell is it? There we go.
Your trademark is stupidity.
So I'm a 7th round guy in Boyd. You going to go pick on the number one guy?
Not unless you want to lose your job real quick.
Yeah, you're expendable. Your definition is expendable. But
not to mention he's like the 84th on the depth chart.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I understand you want to stand up for yourself, but you're there representing the team. You're not wearing pads. You got plenty of chances you can go and hit someone in the mouth, you know, pretty much any other day. And it could be legal, you know, and you got to try and throw some hands at a symposium where you're representing the team, which is just ridiculous. So I just don't quite understand. So
what do we think about
and no chain, no one really cares what you're doing. So you can flip the bird all you want, brother. But if you flip the bird at, you know, Talib, then we would cover it. So anyway, that was the news on that front. We covered well, you know, we haven't really covered this. We talked about it briefly, and we touched on it a little bit. Jeff Garcia, if Brett Favre came here, you think he's gone?
Yeah.
You think he's gone on his own accord? Because we own his contract. Spence mentioned it earlier, right? He can't just leave.
No, I think we would trade him to try to get something. Honestly, because he's not going to be happy. There's going to be too much altercation between Favre and him about the whole starting quarterback thing. That's a lot of money to have invested in a backup quarterback, and he even wanted more. I mean, as a starting quarterback, but you know, he's at what, $5 million roughly? No, he's not.
He's $2 million a year.
Okay, $2 million a year. Well,
with
Chris
bonuses.
Sims that for all these years, so that's not that bad. But I don't think they could coexist.
I don't know that he's got a lot of people that would take him.
Would I love to be able to have a Favre and have a Jeff Garcia as a backup? Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
A little bit of depth.
Oh yeah. But do I really think that's gonna happen? No, I don't.
No.
I don't.
It's gonna be interesting. Now, Jeff Garcia.
I heard something interesting.
What'd you hear?
What if there was a 1-for-1 trade? Favre for Garcia, and Garcia go to be the so-called backup at Green Bay.
Why would he take that deal?
He can sit out. Is that better? He was already contemplating retiring.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, you're putting a $2 million contract against a $12 million contract. They'd have to do something else to balance out the sheet. But I mean, there'd have to be players involved, right? Whatever happened, if Favre was to come here, there'd be players involved. The question just becomes, who are the players? And I don't know. A quarterback, certainly.
There was a long list of players that they had over here. Somebody had put it up before. It included Tom Tupa.
Hey, for those of you who are Tom Tupa,
Yeah.
nice.
It was a long
I can't believe I just heard Tom Tupa.
I'm trying to go back and see what this list was, and I can't remember who put it up, but I'm going to try to find it because it was real long.
For anyone who was at our tailgate, I can't remember which game it was that Owen Schmidt came to. Which game was that? Our girl,
I don't remember.
Our girl Leslie brought Owen Schmidt from the Mountaineers, who signed with the Seahawks. He just signed a 4-year contract, so congratulations out there to Owen for getting his contract knocked out. So we should see him busting people's heads and cracking helmets. I know a lot of you guys wanted him to come in here as well. I'm checking the mailbox while Dee's checking the chat transcript to see if we got any questions. No, we don't have any questions coming in.
Was that the Giants game?
What? No, it could have been the Giants game. No, it couldn't have been the Giants game. It was Carolina.
Carolina?
It was Carolina.
I know it was a blue team.
Yep. We love Tom Tupa here in New England. Butabi. Very nice. And Benny, if you want to send me a link, fire it into questions@whatthebuck.net. I'll fire it in for you here.
Have you, on another note, now that the Storm was obviously eliminated, have you followed any of the Arena League?
Well, I did. I watched some of the games this weekend. The Philadelphia Soul absolutely put an ass whipping on Cleveland, 70-35.
Damn.
And the San Jose SaberCats ended up making it in the American Conference.
Right.
I didn't get a chance to watch that game. But that does mean that we have to deal with John Bon Jovi and Ron Jaworski and their nuns for one more game. So there was a great highlight. I should have had it for this thing where a kick returner hurdled a dude running back a kick, and the guy missed him between his legs and went over the boards. It was a hell of a play. And the Storm just choked, man. I wish I had a better story for you. They played hard. They couldn't put it all together. They played well against good competition, but they couldn't win the games they had to. And it's a damn shame. It's going to be interesting to see what happens here in the offseason. They've got a lot of talent on that roster. I think that they'll be back strong next year, and we're hoping they're back strong next year because I had a good time covering them. I know that a lot of people couldn't get into the game. It's a very different game, but hopefully they'll make some rule changes this year and add some nuance to the defensive side of the ball because, to be honest, I thought it got a little bit silly. So, and I don't know if they're going to have a new coach next year. That we talked about that a little bit. It's hard to fire the Vince Lombardi of arena football, but he hasn't gotten it done recently, and maybe there's a problem with that. But it's going to take some kind of damn shake-up for Coach Markham to lead that team. And if you see Ron Jaworski, tell him to stop sitting with nuns because they were annoying on television. So, according to Creepy, Dan Ugla is first up. I don't even know who that is. So,
he's
all right.
having a good first half of the season. I'll tell you that. 23 home runs for the Marlins. That is one positive note for the Marlins. Actually, they haven't been doing all that bad, but thanks for the update. He is ugly.
Nice. Very nice. All right, so we got about 10 minutes left in the show. We're going to cover a couple more points. I want to thank the people who are in here. See if we got any new people I need to. We got an anonymous listener now. I'm not sure who you are, anonymous, but if you want to make yourself known, please type in your handle so we can give you credit for being in here. Test user still holding out, which is nice to see on my other computer.
Nice.
Very nice. Now I want to thank Bucks Girl
He hasn't
Denmark.
participated too much.
No, he's shy. He's shy. I want to thank Bucks Girl Denmark for setting up our Facebook and World of Hammy for setting up our MySpace. Those are both fan-based sites that have been set up by people who listen to the show. If you guys are on MySpace or Facebook, please get out there and adopt them if you can. Whatever the hell you do in social networking. I'm not very social. D has 4,000 friends on Facebook. I've got 60.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, whatever. So, at any rate, if you are out there on the MySpace page, it's literally a MySpace page that Hammy has put together and he continues to update. On Facebook, it's a Chris Sims. It's a organizational page that Bucks Girl Denmark has put together, and we're still trying to get some content out there for it. It's a bit of a mystery to me. So get a chance, go out there. There are 17 people who have registered on there, so if you're on Facebook, please do that and spread the word. We appreciate all that you guys have done thus far. I want to send out a couple of pieces of love out to the Jessica Rose Foundation, careforjessicarose.org, as well as bandofparents.org. You guys know that we've been supporting them from the beginning. We're still working on the next event for that. I don't think I have a link here right now, so I'll send it out in a newsletter. But that fight still continues, and we want to make sure we thank Buckamaniac for the donations he's already made, and make sure you guys know that whatever we do on the next blind auction, we're going to make sure that it has online capabilities, so that for you people who are not local, you can put in an auction on some of these items as well, to help Jessica and the other kids that are going through this situation. That covers most of the stuff that I had. D, you got some other stuff over there in your notes you want to cover? Got any updates on the home run derby? We need to tell these folks about what we're doing on a schedule front.
I don't have a TV, so I'm just.
They don't have this on ESPN?
I'm relying on everyone else.
I'm
not trying to get,
I'm just saying.
I can take a look and see, but.
All right.
I know. Creepy and maybe Red was taking a look at it, taking a glimpse. So please put an update up there for us so we can announce it. But other than that, no, not really, man.
Okay. Well, as far as the roster goes, and I just got dumped from chat. I don't know if anyone else did. I'm trying to reconnect. To the chat room right now. We are going to be off the air next week, Monday, and then back on during training camp. We will be doing live updates Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc. And if you are local and are going to training camp, please do hit us up at questions@whatthebuck.net so that we can make sure that we coordinate our efforts and information. Are you still in chat over there, D? Can you scroll down and see if chat's active?
Yeah.
Scroll down. That's not new. There's scroll bar. Oh, it's nothing.
That's for the people, man.
Hey,
I got
easy.
it. I know what I'm doing.
Easy. We'll see. And I don't see no one talking though. So, Chris Hansen couldn't have been the last update. If it was, and then Chris Hansen showed up at Red's house, that could be trouble. I'll make sure. Yeah. Looks like the chat got disconnected. That is less than ideal.
Damn it.
So if you're still out there, we apologize. We are still working out some of the kinks on the whole Mogulus chat side. Dee's going to check out the Captain's Deck chat. But if you're still listening, we are not going to be on the air Monday. We're going to be back on the air Saturday. And every day that we're at training camp, we will have updates posted. I want to thank everyone for tuning in. We want to make sure we whore out one last time here. Support What the Buck. Our Cafe Press store is up there. So if you want to get some of the cool gear you see us rocking from time to time, and other people on Creepy's site as well as our site, make sure you get out there to cafepress.com/shop WTB. And I think that's all I got, D. You got anything else, or are we ready to get out of here?
We out, man.
All right. Well, we will see you guys in less than 2 weeks, Saturday. Tune in, spread the word, let us know what you think, and we'll see you.
Work. Hello, boys. Have a good night's rest. I missed you.
Thanks for listening to What the Buck, brought to you live by whatthebuck.net and the Moohead Radio Network. Make sure you register at www.whatthebuck.net to receive announcements about the show and Buccaneer news in general. Until next time, keep those questions coming to questions@whatthebuck.net, and most of all, keep supporting our Buccaneers.